Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about how to be an open communicator and how to overcome communication barriers. I think in general when it comes to me and the public, if like I'm waiting in the DMV office or at a grocery store in the line or something like that, I tend to communicate with people and it's not difficult for me to. I like to make conversation and shine some light into some tense waiting lines or in a waiting area. What I like to do is I like to keep it general, like the weather. If it's windy, like it could be in West Texas, and then 5 minutes later it's snowing, I tend to talk about that. And weather's probably a best topic for me because in West Texas, the weather changes from time to time, even throughout the day. And one day we can have snow, rain, sleet, dust, and a, dried area for one day. And that in itself is a conversation. As far as overcoming the barriers of communication, I don't see a problem with that with me, but for others it's hard. It's hard for people to approach people in different opportunities, especially when it comes to culture. Culture is a very sensitive subject to many people. What may be okay with one person is not okay with another, or what may be okay for one student is not okay with another. So I embrace culture every day in my work area. Such as holiday parties. There's some students that are not able to participate in holiday parties, so therefore we will need to take them to another room and let them color or whatever the case might be. And then when I had an incident early this year, we didn't know that a student was supposed to participate in a Christmas party, and when the parent came and approached us, we had no idea. It was not in any of the paperwork or anything. We apologized and we let her know that it wouldn't happen anymore. So I think if you are aware of the culture, you try not to overstep those boundaries. And even if you don't know, I think you should not test them. Like that, this in the readings, the maraca, when that guy went over to that man's house, approaching or seeing how the wife is or how she's doing, well, that was inappropriate. I can say that's kind of like in the Hispanic culture as well. Another man shouldn't speak of another man's wife unless they know each other, unless it's family, because it's inappropriate. Then that puts in guys in the husband's mind of, why are you asking about my wife? How do you know my wife? And so forth. So they seem, a lot of Mexican cultures seem to be very territorial with their women. I can't really know that about other cultures like Chinese or from Middle Eastern. I know some cultures, they have to have their full bodies covered. And I know just seeing women out there, it's probably a disrespect to them too as well. So I think we can overstep our boundaries with different cultures without us even knowing it. I think the best way to do it is just be respectful and mindful of other cultures and what they may have and what they may not have to offer, or what they would need to be. Like as far as if you know it's against a culture for a man to look at a woman halfway dressed, then you wouldn't want to put yourself in that position to where you're halfway dressed around them. It's just about respect. And as far as if you're waiting like in a bus line or in what are those bus stations called? I'm not sure what that's called, but say if you're sitting next to someone that you know is from a different culture, you can basically talk about how busy the traffic is outside to where you're not overstepping your boundaries. I think that's the most and efficient way to go, is try not to overstep your boundaries and just be mindful and respectful of others and how they believe in their culture. I guess that's it. Thank you for listening.